G'day everyone, Clok-Roo report. Hey, hang on a second! Didn't I just do this video a week ago? Well, yes I did. And I hated it. I didn't like it at all. It was badly rushed and sloppy, I was impatient when I made it, I was heavily biased in what I said, and given the subject I was doing, I want to do it justice. So I'm gonna have a second go at it. And that old video? It be gone. You'll never see that abomination ever again. So what are we talking about? Well, about a year ago, I did a video talking about what I would have liked to see in the Skylander Academy cartoon. Since then, the cartoon has been released on Netflix, and I have gained a soft spot for it. It is surprisingly well done, which, from the rookie studio that is Team TO, that is saying something. But I want to focus on the hot debate surrounding the upcoming Season 2 of the show, the confirmed and impending arrival of Cynder the Dragon. Now, before I go any further, let me clear a few things up. Skylanders Academy is non-canon to main series Skylanders. In fact, it is non-canon to anything else related to Spyro the Dragon. None of the timelines cross paths in any capacity, even if theorists have come up with reasons for X, Y, and Z, myself included. In short, everything we know about Spyro the Dragon franchises plays little to no relevance in this video. Also, I am not confirming anything. All of this is just speculation. That's it. Since Cynder the Dragon's announcement, many fans have been wondering what she will be like in the cartoon. But more importantly, the big question everyone wants answered is this. What will the relationship between Spyro and Cynder be like? That is a great debate that we will need to settle before it gets out of hand. So here, I'm going to look at all the hints and clues we have and try to come to a conclusion as to what is the most likely possible relationship between the pair. Now for this case, I want to focus on 4 possible outcomes, namely those that were proposed by Crystal Blazer. Because she's a gun at this stuff, guys. The possibilities I'm looking at are as follows. The romance option. It's the Legend of Spyro all over again, we all know that story. The sibling option. It's revealed that the two are actually long-lost siblings. The friends option, i.e. no romance between them fair, but no other connection either. And the heartbreak option, wherein Cynder falls in love with another character. I'm not saying these are the only options, but I feel like these 4 are the most likely to happen. So, with that said, let's see if we can work out at least anything! So to start, we should have a look at something that was noticed in the first episode of the show that you've probably never noticed. Take a look at this snapshot. Do you notice anything odd? No? Okay, take a closer look. Do you see it now? Still no? Okay, clearly I need to blow the image up so you can see it. This is what I want to show you. It's a dragon egg. A minor detail that was spotted by YouTuber and Skylander Academy forum admin, Crystal Blazer. Now, to quell any doubters that think this isn't real, I'm going to play you the footage this snapshot comes from. Keep an eye on the very bottom of the screen, and you will notice the egg just sitting there in plain view. Notice how it just sits there as part of the scene environment? This isn't faked in any way. Next time you're watching a show on Netflix, have a look for yourself. Now to clear up that this is indeed a dragon egg. Here's a snippet from the start of the episode. This is Spyro hatching from an egg that matches the one in the snapshot. This immediately confirms that it has to be a dragon egg. But then that raises another question. Whose egg is it? Well, that all depends on whether dragon eggs in Skylander Academy are the same or different, and that's a piece of trivia we will never know the answer to. So let's assume that it's the same kind of egg that Spyro hatched from. That narrows the possible dragon inside down to, one candidate. Cynder. How do I know this? Because every single other dragon is a hybrid, or not from Skylands. If there's any dragon that could possibly be the same species as Spyro, it has to be Cynder. There's no arguing about it. This also makes reference towards the Legend of Spyro, as they came from the same batch of eggs that were being protected by the Elders. However, that doesn't indicate why Cynder was absent from the first season. What does, however, was the biggest Miss Ashley Tisdale, voice actress for Stealth Elf, has ever made in her career. In this Instagram post, she accidentally leaked details about Season 3 in the process. It's hard to read from this one shot, so here's a close-up of the script. There are 3 outstanding features of this script, but there's only one we need to focus on here: the usage of the name Malefor, who has appeared in both the Legend of Spyro trilogy and the Skylander comic arc Return of the Dragon King. In both scenarios, Malefor was responsible for Cynder's dark backstory. He captured Cynder as an egg, corrupted her with darkness, and then set her out on the world to do evil. And on both occasions, it was Spyro who rescued her and helped make her good. However, that's as far as the similarities go from there. In The Legend of Spyro, Cynder acts as Spyro's love interest, primarily in Dawn of the Dragon, while in Skylanders, the only relationship status we ever get between the dragons is that they are each other's oldest friend. There is no chemistry between them. So this doesn't answer the question of what is going to happen between the dragons in Season 2 of Skylander Academy. What we can assume, however, are the following events. Master Eon not only found Spyro, but he also found Cynder's egg. However, Malefor was able to have his evil forces capture Cynder's egg from the Academy so that he could corrupt and control her. Fast forward to now, and we've got nothing. Well, people do suppose that the evil force in the Book of Dark Magic at the end of Season 1 is Malefor, but don't forget that it can also be the darkness or some other sentient evil. There's no evidence to suppose that that was Malefor. So, we have that much information, but it does not answer our ultimate question. What will be the relationship between Spyro and Cynder in Skylander Academy? Well, we can make a few assumptions. We can now assume that Cynder's backstory is going to be marginally unchanged, so maybe the relationship will be in reference to The Legend of Spyro or the main canon. However, I'd rule out the friends option in such a case, since the show is its own separate identity to the games. So under that assumption, the romance option would be the most likely. Or rather, the least unlikely due to how loose that assumption is. Okay, so now it is time to dig into a couple of other sources where we can get a little bit more information from, starting with insider hints from Team TO, the team that make the show possible. Prior to the launch of the show last year, the Skylander Academy fan forum was regularly visited by a member of the team, under the name Oirazzle, who dropped all sorts of ambiguous and unclear clues, as well as a few heads ups. While some of them made common sense, others weren't as obvious. In fact, some of them were just baffling. One of these clues about the show, even to this day, still makes no clear sense. And as luck would have it, it may well concern the topic at hand. Forum admin Crystal Blazer posted this list of things that could happen in the show that do not happen in the game canon. One of the possibilities she listed refers to the sibling option. Oirazzle replied to this with a clue that is more than baffling. But I think I've worked it out now. Here it is. What they are saying is that something on that list is false or does not happen in the first season, and that something else definitely happens. Now that Season 1 has been out for a while, we can deduce this clue. The 6 crosses correspond to the 6th pointer, which points towards the Doom Raiders being active villains. And guess what? It actually lines up. The wording for the pointer is that they would be active villains like Chaos and were never incarcerated in Cloud Cracker Prison. Well, as episode 5 shows, that's not true at all. They are all locked up behind the prison walls of Cloud Cracker Prison, immediately dispelling the validity to it. But more so, the clue also says, not in Season 1. As of the ending of Season 1, they are much more free characters and able to be active villains. In fact, a promo we saw of Season 2 shows the Champion Mage fighting the Skylanders himself. So by that logic, that would suggest that the second point, which refers back to the sibling option, is correct. Or is it? Thing is, guys, I'm an overthinker, and I don't think someone at Team TO would be permitted to give away a clue that obvious in hindsight. I did actually find something that might be more sneaky. As chance would have it, not only do the 6 crosses correspond to clue 6, but it inadvertently references another factor about the Doom Raiders. Let me ask you this. How many Doom Raiders are there in the show? 6. I'll say it again. 6. Could the clues have instead been about the number of characters involved? That would imply points 1, 2, and 4 as all 3 use 2 characters. And that throws us off the set there, because Season 1 does double time. it leans towards both points 1 and 4. I'll go into the relationship between Spyro and Stealth later, but let's quickly look at the relationship between Chaos and Glumshanks. I'll be honest, I don't think the clue is referring to these guys. Chaos in the show is far too much of a monster to everyone he meets, Golden Queen exempt, that I hardly think he would be friendly to Glumshanks. In fact, that kinda happens across the episodes. Chaos' treatment of Glumshanks is probably worse than it is in the games. So, with the pending talk about Spyro and Stealth to come, for those who don't want to see the Legend of Spyro repeat itself, 2 out of 3 are bad. Oh, those music references ain't going away anytime soon, guys. So yet again, we have another loose assumption to go with. Oi Razzle's hint about the show suggests that the sibling option will happen. That's the loosest straight confirmation I have ever seen! Time to look at something more recent, I think. And this one will be quick. Real quick. In more recent times, a tweet popped up by Eric Rogers in reply to a fan asking about the relationship between Spyro and Cynder. And just as with anything said by Oi Razzle, it has the same properties as the dictionary definition of the letter A. It doesn't mean anything. His response word for word. Dragony. They watch a lot of soap operas together. On their Sky phones. What kind of a relationship is that? Is there any logic to this at all? Okay then, let's try and break this down one by one. Dragony. That means nothing. On their Sky phones. That means they're constantly walking into poles. Maybe. So that leaves us with just a soap opera bit to work with. Is this another vague hint, or is this direct information about the show? Assuming that it is the former for starters, that would imply that their relationship would be the most soap opera possibility you can get. And that leads me to believe that the sibling option and the heartbreak option would be it. Why not the romance option? Because every single soap opera in existence prides itself on plot twists and surprises. I doubt they would do something straightforward. Now let's be more logical about this and look at the latter option. That leaves me in the dark because I know very little about who watches what more, but I have a funny feeling that it leans towards the sibling option. Is it just me, or is it more common for siblings to watch soap operas compared to couples? Also, notice the order of the sentences. Eric seems to be implying that they watch soap operas on their phones. That does not mean anything. Any of the possibilities could be true then, and as for which one is the most likely, I have no clue. Fortunately, there is a much more solid piece of evidence we can fall back on, and as luck would have it, it is right under our very nose. It's in the show. I said I'd be getting back to Spyro and Stealth's relationship, and now's the time. For starters, have any of you actually paid attention to their relationship? From where I stand, this is basically RRB 101, romance relationship building. Not to mention, a tweet from Ashley Tisdale leans towards the two being very close. In fact, perhaps a little too close. The relationship as established between Spyro and Stealth is heavily suggestive of them potentially being a future couple in the show. And it's not just suggested, it's actually really well done. And that makes me wonder, if they're going to all this effort, then under what reason would they give Spyro a love interest in Cynder? It just makes no sense. The only logical reason then would be fan service. And be surprised, but Eric Rogers and Team TO haven't exactly gone into the fan service area. A lot of what they have done for the show has been their own original content and ideas. Yes, there are references to the games, but fan service is at the count of absolutely 0. If they for some reason decide to make Cynder Spyro's love interest from Season 2 onwards, they've retconned their own work. Why would they do that? Simply to break Stealth's heart? To mess about with the viewers? I'm pretty certain that this is a cartoon for all ages and not a soap opera. And let's not forget something here. They were working on Season 2 well before Season 1 started streaming. They would have already had a plan of attack. So they would have realized pretty early on when making Season 2 that if they were going to make Spyro and Cynder lovers, then it would have countered everything they did in Season 1. Eric Rogers is a smart guy, he's not that stupid. My gut instinct tells me that the Spyro-Stealth relationship is the one that will stick, henceforth ruling out the romance option entirely.